Feature a ghost walk out a door, float across a wall, and take a book down from a shelf. Having a wizard's party is a lot more fun if you've got spiders crawling on your table. These are very easily done by projecting a video projector right down onto the table, or be projected onto a concrete floor. In complete 3D realism. Likewise, using the same setup, actual snakes will appear to crawl across the floor and can be projected right with your actors completing the scene. Projections outside greatly enhance a graveyard. This skeleton pops right out of the ground, realistically casting a shadow on the mausoleum wall behind him. The Grave Ghost Riser makes use of the Pepper's Ghost reflection by window glass to make the ghost appear to be emerging out of the ground. This simple and unbelievable effect makes use of a growing library of video and computer-generated characters. Apparent 3D ghosts can be projected onto the ground and appear to be right there and in 3D when viewed from a slight rise of 4 feet above the ground or higher, such as an elevated porch, deck, loading dock, balcony, stage, raised floor, or terraced ground. Or simply looking out a window to the ground below. Zombies can emerge from the ground using both a wall projection method, placed in the back of a cemetery scene or in the back of a warehouse or a garage, and also as a virtual 3D projection onto a cement slab, a piece of white board or styrofoam, or plywood decorated to hide the edges, like in this graveyard scene. Graveyard effects get as large as this 1/4 acre 3D cemetery that truly appears as an actual 3D scene when viewed from 10 feet above the ground or higher. Indoor graveyards are very common in the haunt industry, using warehouses or other large interior spaces. In this example, 3D tarantulas are projected onto gravestones on an interior cemetery built in a garage. Face videos can be projected onto styrofoam heads set on a table that create a very eerie, three-dimensional realistic head emerging from the table.
All of a sudden, it looked like the severed head of a woman was sitting on my kitchen table. It was absolutely fantastic. If you do this effect, people are going to just love it.
Face videos can also be projected onto pumpkins. The face of an old lady ghost can appear behind a false mirror, using a TV screen to visualize the image.
And an apparition appeared in the mirror.
Video projection and TV effects can literally be inside and out in many ways. Skeletons emerging from a hole appear to walk along the side of a house. By using rear screen stretched across a driveway, skeletons appear to be walking towards you down the driveway or down a path. You can even place rear screen near the back of a cemetery set, or one in your own yard, and see skeletons walking between the graves. You can also stretch black scrim across a yard and have skeletons appear to be walking in the yard like holograms, where you can actually see the background through the hologram. So these are ghostly skeletons walking across the ground, and you can see them appear to be walking in the yard in front of this house in the background. And what you're actually seeing is a projection with a 4,500 lumen projector projecting high definition material onto a scrim screen. It's a inexpensive black scrim material you can pick up from cloth stores. Video projection can make paintings come alive. The people featured in portraits can even turn into ghosts and float out of the painting and across the wall. Bugs can be projected onto a counter, onto a plate, even inside a cardboard box. As you can see, they're very realistic. 3D worm projections can go into toilets and into sinks. And previously smaller bugs can become enormous and 3D on your garage floor. CGI spiders can be projected onto a garage floor or warehouse floor, crawling out towards your customers. Using a projector at a low angle, the spiders can crawl out as far as 30 feet across the ground when projected onto white painted or light colored cement floor, driveway, sidewalk, sand, or white cloth placed on the ground. Skeletons can be projected onto a concrete floor and will appear to be 3D to any viewer standing at least 4 feet higher than the floor. Frankenstein's lab can have high voltage electric arcs by simply placing a TV or projection screen between the prop electrodes behind a thin black cloth. Projection effects can be as simple as a 3D ghost cat walking across the floor or ground, or a ghost cat sitting on a bookcase. Floating candles can be projected on the wall to give the illusion of them floating in the air. You can do disembodied heads floating in the air, ghosts walking upstairs. A fun one is real rats running across a table, or on the floor with one of your haunted house actors, or rats projected on a bed. This scene was produced and installed for the Terrors of St. Petersburg Museum in Russia. Place a TV under a catwalk grate in a hallway to have the illusion of a rat underneath the floor. Scrim cloth, which is readily available, can be used to make the most realistic 3D-looking hologram outside, with black scrim stretched inside a cemetery gate and a very bright projector of at least 1,000 lumens. Scrim cloth can be hidden very well in the woods between trees, where you can put ghosts inside the woods. Very effective. We can't overstate the effectiveness of window projection. As you see here, using a 2,000 plus lumens projector, an actual professional rear screen, the result is truly realistic. You see a virtual scene apparently inside the room, as seen looking in the window from the outside. It is extremely realistic. You can also do the reverse and project a scene that appears to be outside of the windows of a room, where good quality rear screen is placed over the windows and the projector is placed outside. A fortune teller's ball effect is easily done by mounting a piece of rear screen inside a clear flower globe and projecting from the back. Using multiple projectors in windows and doors of a house is a very effective way to create a compelling Halloween display. Front doors are often a main view into a house. By putting rear screen across the opening or onto a full glass door, You can feature ghosts or skeletons walking inside the lobby, or ghosts walking down a staircase that might not be there in real life. You can even have an actor open the door and walk inside with the ghost without ruining the effect. Spiders can emerge from an apparent hole in the side of a house or out of a hole in your garage door. Virtual floodwater pouring in from a virtual window. Transparent rear screen across a hallway was used in the terrors of St. Petersburg in Russia to make the ghost of a jailer appear to be walking down the hallway in 3D. You can project the ghost of a receptionist on the wall behind a desk, making a very realistic effect. Onto a large clock. Or put a ghost in a Victorian home projected onto the wall, apparently observing a boy in the room.